Thanks for joining us for another episode of our Do-It-Yourself inspection series. Today, we're going to take you out to a mid-80s apartment complex. It's got vinyl siding, shingle roofs with no soffit overhangs. It's got clubhouses and carports. We'll see wood trim. We'll see a variety of issues. In this episode, we're going to be talking about windows, the actual window pane itself. So when that fogs up, has that failed? The window trim around the windows so we can see where it's soft and punky in the lower corners. And then common hiding techniques of doing your best and caulking the rest. So when the painter takes his caulk and smears over the rot and paints it real quick, we can show you how to identify those spots and just encourage you not to paint over bad wood, but also see it if somebody's trying to give you a paint job. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to the Building Doctor Show with Jens Johansson.
On this wood trim on the lower right-hand side of the window up there, you can see that it's chunky. It's kind of delaminating. Looks like it's been freshly painted over, but because of that delamination, I have a feeling that corner of wood trim is water damaged. Just visually looking, I can see this bottom piece of trim. I can see the wood grain, and then I see some big swirls. Swirls, actually a big pasting right here. So why did the sealant guy have to turn into a texture guy? So he's covering up rotten trim. And so you can see this big corner of sealant. This is kind of a big blob of sealant that I can make it look pretty, caulking it, smearing it around, and then painting it. So he followed the premise of do your best and caulk the rest, and that doesn't work. So again, talking about sealant texturing, you can see the bottom piece of the trim there in the left corner, and then even the center. You can see the smearing around of trying to cover up issues. Okay, so we're seeing more of this trim and caulk and stuff like that. So let's take a closer look at this. So we can see this big kind of smear of sealant that's been painted over, and actually it's like a big blister, if you will, of paint and sealant. You can see it actually. I can get my tool under there, and it's just a big blister of badness. And then underneath we have our rotten trim. So this trim is at the end. Yeah, it's water damaged. It's needs to be replaced. And you can see that just by looking at wood texture. Up here I see wood, down there I see blobs of sealant. So why did they have to take the time to actually blob the sealant around and then paint it? So these look like replacement windows. This era of building probably had metal aluminum frame windows, so these are vinyl frame windows. Things I'm looking for are open weep holes. So water's designed to get into this system and drain out. And so these weep holes look great. Here we're going to talk about window panes. So on these double paned windows, so it's two panes of glass, and they fill up the inner pane with a gas and seal it so that it provides additional insulation. And what does a fogged pane look like? You can see the upper window is fogged, and you can see kind of steam rolling out of it. Lower window, not. See the upper window over on this side, the bottom halves of the windows are steamed up. Lower window, not. So this could mean a couple things. One, that the pane in the window has cracked, or the seal around that double pane is cracked, and so there's no longer a seal, and water is getting in between those two panes and condensing. Another thing it can mean from the operating standpoint of the building is that this resident may have a lot of interior humidity going on. That could be caused by maybe the temperature set way high, maybe they're running a lot of steam cookers and, not turning the fan on when they take a shower. So it's kind of an indication to the building operator or the facilities committee folks to look around and say, knock, 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 why is your window steamed up? Is that a window pane failure, or is it just a hot house in here and we need to do something about running fans and using proper ventilation technique? What I'm looking at here, it started by, you can see the dark staining coming down from below the window. It could be wood tannins. It could also be a chemical reaction between the peel and stick of the tape that goes around the windows and the building paper. I also see it under this corner. At first I thought it might be bird droppings, but it's kind of the same stuff. I'm seeing what looks more like maybe could be some dirt or mud, but kind of there as well. So I would want to open up these areas and kind of poke around. Yeah, and what are the challenges of taking over an older project? And that's one of the things of who knows how it's been maintained. And so you get all the headaches and get all the shortcuts that they did.
Always fun.
Yes, buildings are fun. Hey, thanks for watching this episode. Hopefully you picked up some tips and tricks on how to identify and avoid water damage on your building. I know this was a great 80s looking building, but if you follow our channel, you'll see all sorts of different buildings where we look at stucco and other types of siding, brick, windows. Check it out. Thanks for watching.